Hi, welcome to another episode of Living the Dream. This episode is going to be dedicated to veterans. Today, we have a special guest with us again, Mr. Vince Johnny Metal Deck with the DAV. He's the help that's on the way to help out all those veterans who have been struggling to get their disability claims.
If there's anybody out there that feels they need to file a claim with a disability with the VA, the DAV, I'm a service officer, we'd be more than happy to help you out with that claim. First thing you have to do is call me and make an appointment. My number is 937-830-0218, or if you go to the Dayton VA Medical Center off of 3rd Street in Dayton, you can go in. As soon as you walk in the hospital, there's an information desk on your right-hand side. Ask them guys. There's 2 guys there. One guy's name is Ernest, and the other fellow is King Arthur. Ask them where the disability information is, which is right around the corner from the desk where they sit. And they'll tell you to go over there and ask for one of the service officers. There's many service officers over there, but the one that I would like you to speak with is Nikki Cochran. She's a DAV service officer, and she can help you file a claim. When we file claims, we're asking for your DD-214 proof of your service and your discharge to see if you're honorable, and also bring in some medical records on the disability that you're claiming for, and then we can fill out the papers. There's a procedure that you have to do, to file for that claim. There's a form called 21-526-EZ, which is the application for the claim. Then there's another form that you have to fill out, which is a statement of the claim stating what your disability is about and how you got injured or whatever to support your claim. And that form is 21-4138. And then there's one other claim that you can, or not claim, but form. It's 2122, which is the power of attorney, which lets us represent you as you're a power of attorney to fight for your claim and to follow your claim. And then once we get all the paperwork together with all the applications and your medical records and your statements and stuff, we send them to Cleveland, and then they're processed up in Cleveland right there at the VA regional office. And what they do is they take it over across the hall and they hand it to the VA, and then I believe they put it like on a docket. And then once that's all done, you'll hear from the VA probably within a week or 2 stating that they received your claim. And then also the DAV will also send you a letter stating that they received your claim and the VA is working on it.
Okay. Now, Vince, how long or how many chapters or districts, as far as within the Ohio area?
I believe there's 7 districts, maybe 8 in the state of Ohio. The district I'm in is District 2 in the Dayton area, and we have, I believe, like 7 or 8 chapters in our district. And
things that you had mentioned, and that is that the DAV is also looking for adding on to their membership roster.
Sure. Yeah, we're always welcoming new members for the DAV. Our chapter is Chapter 9, and we have our meetings a second Wednesday of each month. The next meeting we're going to have is going to be on March the 11th, and it starts at 7 p.m., and it's at 5700 Kenshire Drive in Kettering, Ohio. Post 598. American Legion.
Okay. Now, one of the things I've observed far as throughout the years, and that is Vince is not a man who just talks the talk. He actually walks the walk, and that is in helping veterans and at the same time helping the families far as of our veterans as well. Now, Vince, tell us about what are some of the things that a potential volunteer can expect to do.
Okay, right now we're looking at the Dayton VA Medical Center. We're looking for drivers for golf carts. What the driver does, he has to actually pass a physical examination to make sure you can drive that golf cart, that you're in good health, because you don't want to have some kind of episode where you might drive into a Jeep or pass out or something like that, or drive into cars rather. But yeah, you have to go through a process. But we are looking for drivers for a golf cart in the morning and afternoons. What the golf cart driver does after you get you'll get an ID card after you're all approved. You'll do a police check, you'll do a physical, and then once that's all done, you get an ID card. And then once you get your ID, then you'll be ready to drive. And what the drivers do, they go out in the parking lot and they pick up veterans that are unable to really walk. What you do is you pick that veteran up and you take them out to the VA front door, drop them off there by the main door. And then as other people come out the door, you say, "Sir, may I give you a ride?" 9 times out of 10, they say yes, because I do that on the side every once in a while. I'll get out there and drive the golf cart. And then also I can get new members to join the chapter as well, you know, the DAV. And our membership has been really good this year. I've probably signed up 10 or 15 already, and I'm looking to sign up more. And if you sign up with the DAV, it's a very wonderful organization, a very elite organization. Their monies that they bring into the DAV is like 97% of the money goes towards veterans, which there is no other organization on the planet that gives that kind of money to veterans. So it's a very supporting organization, which I'm very proud to be part of.
Okay. Now, as far as a member to join the DAV, do you have to have a service-connected disability?
At this time, I don't think you have to really be a member, but if you are, you're definitely going to be able to sign up for the DAV. And there's a small down payment. It's like $40. So once you join the DAV, you give me the $40, I sign you up, it's in the application, and then you're approved. And the balance of the fee of the DAV, I believe it's $300, lifetime membership, that's everything. And you can make payments monthly whenever they don't really pressure you. So you know, if you send in like 10 or 15 bucks, you know, that'll be good. And once you become a member of Chapter 9, my chapter, our chapter or whatever, we will reimburse you the $20 through the chapter, and also the state of Ohio will reimburse you $20, so you're actually getting your $40 back. And also the other incentive of that is we give you a hat. It's not a hat like I have on, it's a ball cap, but it'll be of your service.
Okay.
Navy, Marine, Coast Guard, Army, whoever you served with. And also we're giving out these real nice looking challenge coins. I wish I would have brought one with me, you could have seen it.
Okay.
But you know, that's a pretty good deal, you know, and we got a really good organization. Our chapter, we do a lot of things together. We do a lot of things for the veterans. If you need a wheelchair, we'll give you a wheelchair. That's electric wheelchair, you know, or a regular wheelchair.
Okay.
We have scooters we provide. We give walkers. Whatever you may need just ask us, and we can tell you if we can help you with that particular item that you may need for your veteran.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, Vince, how did you come about joining the DAV?
Well, back when I got out of Vietnam, I was injured, and I was in Great Lakes Naval Hospital for about 3.5 months. So when I got out of the hospital, I fell in love and married my wife, and a guy come knocking on my door one day and says, "Hey, you Vince Deck?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "You want to join a DAV?" And I says, "What's the DAV?" I didn't know what the DAV was. So I told him I wasn't able to join right at that time because I didn't really have a lot of money. I was just kind of basically starting out, you know. And before he left, he says, "Hey, would you be interested in buying some lottery tickets, raffle tickets rather?" And I says, "Well, yeah, how much are they?" And he says, $1 a piece, 5, 6 for 5. And I says, "Well, give me 5. So about 2 weeks later, the guy come walking up our driveway, and my wife says, "You call him back?" And I says, "No." So he knocks on the door and says, "Hey, Vince, I got a check here for you." And I says, "Really?" He said, "Here's that check for $500. And I said, "Sign me up." And that's how I became a member of the DAV. And then back in them days, I was signing up every year annually. And then in 1978, I think it was, that's when I became a lifetime member.
Okay. So how long have you been with the DAV?
50 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now,
It don't seem like 50, but it is 50.
Okay. So time goes by
Yeah,
when,
fast,
when you're helping people and you have a passion for what you do.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that I observed about you, and that is, and with the DAV, period, and that is when you are working with the veteran as far as in the process of navigating their way through their disability claims, that unlike some organizations, and that is that they'll say, "Okay, we're going to help you out," they get you started, but then the veteran is dangling. I have actually witnessed you actually walk the veteran or hold the veteran's hand and follow through with them
Sure.
throughout this entire process.
Right, right.
So is that one of the advantages of the DAV as far as for a veteran coming and having
Sure,
the DAV
sure.
advocate?
Let me tell you a story about a good friend of mine. We grew up together back in the place where I'm from, around Chicago, and he spent time in Vietnam. He was on a boat, and at nighttime he used to go ashore and pick up Marines and bring them back to the boat and stuff like that. But one day out on his boat, the boat caught a fire, and he had breathed all this toxic stuff into his lungs, and he's been having trouble. Well, I'll say about 5 years ago, well, it's longer than that, but every year for the past, I don't know how many years, a bunch of us guys who grew up together, went to school together, we would have a barbecue, so I would go up to Chicago and visit with him. And this one particular guy, his name is Larry Pavey, very wonderful person. You know, I was after him, I said, "Larry, let me file a claim for you." And he says, "Well, I ain't gonna get nothing." I said, "Hey, buddy, let's file a claim." Well, it took me 2 years, and it finally sunk in his head. And today, he's a very happy man because I got him 70% disability for his PTSD and his lungs, where he was breathing in all these toxics on the boat he was on and stuff. So he's very thankful, you know, and I love helping people like that, you know, because a lot of guys, he didn't really know where to turn, how to go about filing a disability claim. And me being in the business I'm in with the DAV, every day of my life I'm learning more and more new ways to help veterans, and that's just what I really like doing. I really enjoy what I do, helping these people.
Okay. Because I can see where a person can get very frustrated as far as navigating their way through that process on their own. The DAV, it's not a government supported
Correct.
organization.
Yes, we
right?
we have to go out and we have to hustle our own money and stuff. So we do like 2 fundraisers a year at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and I've been doing it probably, God, time goes so fast. I can't really. It's at least 15 years. It's probably longer than 15, but we do pretty good out Wright-Patterson. We get a lot of kind people, and we have a jar out there where we put the money when they walk by, and there's a lot of people that have big hearts, and they fill that jar up, and we have pamphlets out there talking about how to join the DAV and what we do, what we represent, who we are, and also we sign up quite a few people just right there in membership because they know, some of the people do know of us and what we do, and they want to become members, so they sign up right there at the air base. And the monies that we make go for different things like this one fellow over here in Dayton. I met him over at the memorial service up on the hill at the National Cemetery, which they put a big tent up, and there's usually like 500 to 600 people. And I met him, and he's an older veteran. He's 80-some years old, and I picked him up in a golf cart one day, and I took him up onto the hill because the hill's pretty steep. Mm-hmm. And he asked me if I knew any way that he could get an air conditioner for his house, and I said, "Yeah, man, we'll get you an air conditioner," and I did. So I went back to the chapter. The chapter approved it. I went out and got the air conditioner. I went over to his house and put it in his window, and he was so thankful. It was unbelievable, And I said, this is the kind of things we do for people. We don't turn our back on anybody. You know what I mean? If we can help you, we will be there to help you.
Okay, so it's like no man or woman left behind.
Correct.
And the DAV is open to women and men, anyone who have served.
Brothers and sisters, you're all welcome, and we'll be there to help you.
Okay. Now, we went over the fundraising. We went over the volunteer services.
Sure.
How do you come about becoming a member?
Right.
And I'm just thinking, is there anything else? Well, there is something. And that is, there's a national award that's being, you've been nominated for.
Correct. I was nominated about a week ago from the state of Ohio Department of the DAV, which was a very nice honor. I don't really do this volunteer work and all this stuff I do for veterans for any kind of award or monies. It's not. I'm not really into it, but if I'm nominated, I'm very proud, and I'm very proud to be part of the DAV. And naturally, my children look up towards me, and my grandchildren, and I want to be a good role model towards people, to show that there's more in a life than, crime or, sit around, do nothing, or don't, and people wonder why their lives ain't right. It's because you got to put a little effort out there and help people, no matter who they may be. This right here is just a costume. It's your heart that's really happening, and that's what I believe. And you start doing things like that, your life is going to turn around, and it's going to be a lot better than, complaining about it.
Okay. Well, I want to say for all of those who may not be able to say it, or if you would like to leave some comments for Vince, or just say thank you, then make sure you put it in the comment section. Thank you again, Vince, for coming.
Thank you, sir.
And much continued success far as in what you're doing.
Sure.
And for those of you who may not know about the DAV or would like to know more information, can they find information online?
Yes. What you do is you go online and put in a search box dav.org, and it'll bring up the main web page, and it has everything in there about all kinds of volunteering, how to apply for volunteering at the DAV, because you have to go through a process, and it's a lot of good information on their website. So feel free to go there and check it out, because I'll tell you what, it's beautiful. I'm really glad and proud of the organization. Like I said, now we're around now. This year makes 100 years for the DAV, and that'll tell you something right there, you know.
All right. Well, we want, and if you're out there watching this, then make sure you continue to support your regional or your district or a DAV within your area, state, city, in the country. You can find them.
Sure.
Okay. Now, you've helped quite a number. Again, I want to say thank you for those veterans who may not be able to tell you right now.
Sure.
Thank you for helping our veterans live their dream, or work
Right.
towards living their dream.
Yeah.
We hope to have you back here again.
Yes, sir.
Vince. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to it. And as always, as we begin to close this episode, remember, when you're writing the story of your life, be sure that you're holding the pen. Until the next time, we want to hear your story.